In this video, I'm going to show you some details about when students can access tests or access the results to their tests based on whether you have it visible or in a visible folder or are using release conditions. So the first thing is anytime you're adding an assessment to your course, you're going to put it in your course content area. So I can hover over the plus and create a test. I can put that test either directly on the course content area, or I might want to put it inside of a folder. And once I've set it up, I can move it anywhere I want in the course itself. You as an instructor, as well as your students, can access that quiz either from the main course content area where I've set it up here, or I can go to the gradebook and I can see that intro quiz right here at the top of my gradebook. And on the gradebook, you can actually slide that up and down and reorder where you want that to go. So when you're setting up the test, there's a few things that you want to consider in terms of when the students will be able to see and access the test, as well as when they'll be able to see and access their feedback for the test and their test results. So to demonstrate this, I have pulled up my instructor perspective on the left-hand side, and on the right-hand side, we have a mock student course, Ada Twist course. So the first thing to keep in mind is that anytime a quiz or a test is visible to students, students can access that test and begin that test. So Ada Twist can click on this introductory quiz. In this case, she's already submitted one attempt, but she could start her second attempt because it's visible to her. She can access it either from the main content area, or she'll see it in her gradebook as well. If that quiz is hidden from students and I refresh Ada Twist, Ada Twist can't see or access that quiz, either from the gradebook or from the main content area. Now, if you would like to limit when the students can start the test, you can add release conditions. So I can set up a release condition and say I want this test to show after, maybe I want it to show after 1 o'clock today. And so now Ada Twist can see that it's there, that the quiz is going to be there, but the content isn't available yet. So she can't access that test until the beginning of that test, and it will also appear in her gradebook, but the content isn't available yet. So once those release conditions are met, Ada Twist can then enter into that quiz and, in this case, see her feedback for that quiz. So she can see her quiz score and she can see that there's comments somewhere in it. In this case, I've set up the quiz so that she can see all of her submission as well as the correct answers. She can see my individual feedback that I gave. So in question 1, I added additional feedback to say great idea. She can see my overall feedback that I gave. And as I said, she can see her grade at the top. Now, if I had, again, put this to hidden from the students, and then we go in to look at what Ada Twist sees, Ada Twist cannot see that on her main page anymore. If she goes to her gradebook, she cannot see it on her gradebook. So you have to have that quiz visible to her for her to be able to see her feedback or her grade in the gradebook. Now, in some cases, you might have all of your quizzes living in a folder or in a specific unit like this, and I can slide that into here. So Ada Twist will be able to see that quiz inside the unit if the unit is visible to her. If the unit is hidden from students, she won't be able to see the quiz, but she will be able to see the quiz in the gradebook. She'll be able to see her grade, and she'll be able to see that she has feedback on that. Unfortunately, when she comes in here to look at her feedback, she will only see the global feedback. She won't see the nuances within, like the feedback to each of the specific questions. And this is the same scenario if I put on release conditions. So now I have the unit folder is visible, but I have release conditions changing the date so it will hide after a specific date and time. And now if I look at Ada Twist, I can look in that folder. I see those release conditions are on there, so I can't access it here. She can go to the grade book. She can see her grade. She can see the global feedback, but she won't be able to click in to see more detailed feedback because that quiz is not available to her. So for your feedback, your detailed feedback to be available to the students, it has to be in a visible folder and visible to students for them to be able to see it. If you want to limit whether they can see the full submissions or whether they can see the correct answers or all those details, that's when you're going to go into the quiz itself and edit your quiz settings. So edit the assessment results when you want the feedback to be available to them. And we'll go through that in more detail in another video. Thanks for watching. I hope you found this video helpful. Feel free to reach out if you have further questions or suggestions for other videos to create.